Alright, so taking a look at the camera itself here, you can launch the camera with the camera button on the side. Pressing that for a moment will bring up the camera UI. Now, as we said earlier, the camera has autofocus, but it does not have a flash. You do have a custom UI here. Hitting this tab here, so cooperate, there we go, brings up some options for you. You can switch to the front-facing camera, like so. There we are. Wave, there we go. So you can take self-portraits. You can also use the front-facing camera for various video chatting and stuff like that. You got a couple different options as far as shooting mode goes. Continuous, panoramic. You can change where your standard default destination goes when you go to save the image or send it. Right there, and you can adjust the exposure. One thing that we notice, or at least we can't find easily, is where if you can zoom in. It's only a 3 megapixel camera, so they might have just disabled the zoom on the camera itself. But what you do have is you do have tap to focus, so you can tap there and then the camera will autofocus like so. You can use the on-screen button to take a picture, or if you'd like, you can use the camera key itself to take the picture, where it will autofocus beforehand, give you a beep confirmation, and snap the picture. And then you can review them right from there. Of course, you got your standard Android options to share them or set as a contact and stuff like that. Once the picture's taken, of course, you do have the ability to zoom in. You can pinch to zoom in and out nice and easily. Standard Android operations there. Back here. Now, if you go recording video, got a similar UI for the video. Can adjust your resolution here. This guy does not record HD video. The highest you're going to get is 720 by 480. But you do have some options for white balance and effects and the timer and stuff like that. You can set the video from compression from fine to super fine to normal. The recording video is fairly straightforward. Push the button will start recording. Like so. Gives you your timer up there. You can actually pause the video partway through and then resume it again, which is kind of a unique feature instead of having to start and stop and create a new video clip. And then the stop button right there will stop it. And then viewing playback right there. Like so. Gives you your timer up there. You can actually, which is kind of a unique feature instead of having to start and stop and create a new video clip. Alright, so there we go. Video is pretty smooth. We'd like to see HD on it, but you know, can't win them all. And that's essentially the camera itself. We also wanted to show you the web browser quickly. It's your standard Android web browser. The Android 2.2 web browser, there isn't really too many customizations and stuff like that. T-Mobile's got your standard a standard home screen here for different shortcuts and such. If we pull up our web page, this keyboard really is a dream to type on once you get used to it. We really like this keyboard. It's really easy, and it's glad that Samsung and T-Mobile have kept true to the keyboard that we're used to seeing on Sidekick devices, which is great to see. It's relatively fast. We've got a pretty heavy site as far as images and stuff like that, so it can take a minute to load. Supports pinch to zoom, which is pretty smooth. The Sidekick 4G has a 1 gigahertz Hummingbird processor, so it really helps with the smoothness of UI motions and stuff like that. Scrolling is effortless on the browser, which is nice to see. It also does support Flash, so you can play Flash videos and stuff right there in the browser. So it's got the latest version, Flash 10.2 and such. In the menu key, your standard Android options are there, so you can have multiple windows open. And then quickly be able to switch between them. So that was a quick tour of all the hardware and the software on the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G. We're really impressed with it as far as the messaging phone. The screen could be a little bit larger, And I think in portrait mode, it'd be great if they had added some capacitive buttons down at the bottom for your home, your menu, and stuff, just to duplicate those functions, because it would have been a lot easier to navigate the phone when in portrait. But other than that, it's a really solid device. Messaging fanatics, I think, will go nuts on it. It's a little bit chunky for intents and purposes, but that does offer you the great hardware keyboard, which we're glad to see. The messaging implementation throughout the OS is really cool as well, and we're really impressed with the performance and the speed of it. T-Mobile's going to be selling this for $99 after rebate, so it's kind of a good value for getting a powerful Android phone with some great messaging functions. Really would have liked to see the camera a little bit higher resolution, but can't win them all, I guess. And that's it. That's the Sidekick T-Mobile 4G, the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G, coming out soon. This is Dan Seifer from MobileBurn.com. Thanks, guys.